Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, be sure to hit the little bell button, subscribe so you'll get all my latest videos. Today we're going to be discussing a little bit of the history of Christmas and where it came from. Now keep in mind, this is just scratching the surface and some of it can be a little gory, but if it intrigues you, feel free to read more about it. So, without further delay, for a few years now, I've wished people happy holidays because, honestly, I'm not a Christian, so saying Merry Christmas has never really set with me, so I say happy holidays. It wasn't until, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that I found out that from November 1st to January 15th, there's approximately 29 different holidays celebrated in 7 of the world's major religions. So it kind of fit that I was already saying happy holidays, because passing somebody on the street, you really have no idea what they celebrate. So by saying happy holidays, it's like you're wishing them genuinely happy whatever it is. Now, some people say Merry Christmas. I say, you too. But I enjoy the happy holidays for that simple fact. Anywho, one of the holidays which we'll be discussing is Saturnalia, which seems to be the basis of how Christmas came to be, even though it shares many things with other of these 29 holidays. Saturnalia, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, in Rome, where winters were not as harsh, and those in the far north, Roman pagans first introduced the holiday of Saturnalia, a week-long period of lawlessness celebrated between December 17th and the 25th. Some accounts say it began in the week leading up to the winter solstice and continuing for a full month. So, saying December 21st-ish until roughly January 21st. Can't say I don't party that long. Saturnalia is a holiday in honor of Saturn, the god of agriculture. It was a fun time, to say the least, when food and drink were plentiful and the normal Roman social order was turned upside down. This holiday soon took a dark twist when the church got involved. And don't most things, or at least back then. During this period, Roman courts were closed, and Roman law dictated that no one could be punished for damaging property or injuring people during the celebrations. During this time, slaves would become masters, peasants were in command of the city, businesses and schools were closed so that everyone could join in the fun. The festivals began when Roman authorities chose an enemy of the Roman people to represent Lord of Misrule, though that should really be Lord or Mistress of Misrule, since it could be a woman or male. Each Roman community selected a victim who they forced to indulge in food and other physical pleasures throughout the week. Now, that don't sound very bad. Until, at the festival's conclusion, on December 25th, Roman authorities believed they were destroying the forces of darkness by brutally murdering this innocent man or woman. Now, if you want to delve into this a little further, be my guest, but I'm going to leave it there as far as that particular part because it does get a little gory. In the 4th century CE, Christianity imported Saturnalia festivals, hoping to take pagan masses in with it. Just another example of Christians taking a holiday. Christian leaders succeeded in converting to Christianity large numbers of pagans by promising them they could continue to celebrate Saturnalia as Christians. Okay, if that's your thing. The problem was that there was nothing intrinsically, maybe I pronounced it right, Christian about Saturnalia. To remedy this, these Christian leaders named Saturnalia's concluding day December 25th to be Jesus' birthday, what we now know to be Christmas. In the early 17th century, a wave of religious reform changed the way Christmas was celebrated in Europe. Because of its known pagan origins, when Oliver Cromwell and his Puritan forces took over England in 1645, they vowed to rid England of decadence and, as part of their efforts, canceled Christmas. Can you imagine having your winter holiday just canceled, gone, can't celebrate it? I couldn't. That's crazy. Anyway, by popular demand, Charles II was restored to the throne, and with him came the return of the popular holiday. The Pilgrims, English separatists that came to America in 1620, were even more orthodox in their Puritan beliefs than Cromwell. As a result, Christmas was not a holiday in early America. Now, I didn't know that. I've done a little bit of research in early America, and I never knew that, so that was interesting to learn. From 1659 to 1681, the celebration of Christmas was actually outlawed in Boston and Massachusetts. I'm a little surprised, but with the Puritans in charge, not so much. Anyone exhibiting the Christmas spirit was fined 5 shillings. By contrast, in the Jamestown settlement with Captain John Smith, it was reported that Christmas was enjoyed by all and passed without incident. Even to this day, most Christians chose to celebrate Christmas, even though very few, if any, know the actual history of Christmas itself. Also around the time of the winter solstice, Romans observed Juvenalia, a feast honoring the children of Rome. Members of the upper classes often celebrated the birth of Mithra, again, maybe that pronunciation's a little off, the god of the unconquered sun, on December 25th. It was believed that Mithra, an infant god, was born of a rock. For some Romans, Mithra's birthday was the most sacred day of the year. Now, if you've never heard that name, I'll put it in the video so you can see the spelling. If you've never heard it, you can research it, and there's some really interesting stuff about them. In the early years of Christianity, Easter was the main holiday. The birth of Jesus was not celebrated. It's quite interesting, or interesting to me, I guess, that the New Testament, I do believe, provides no clues in relation to when Jesus may have been born. A fact Puritans actually used against the church to try to discredit the celebration. Although some evidence suggests that his birth may have occurred in the spring. I mean, after all, why would shepherds be herding in the middle of winter? I mean, that's a spring-summer thing. Anyway, December 25th was first identified as the date of Jesus' birth by Sextus Julius Africanus in 221, and later became the universally accepted date. Now, that was really interesting to me because one man said, this is it, it was just accepted. How man just said and nobody questioned. In the 4th century, Pope Julius I made December 25th the official date of Jesus' birth. About that time, church officials decided to institute the birth of Jesus as a holiday. Going back to Saturnalia, this made sense for the church at the time, especially since the festivals once called the Feast of Nativity. The custom, however, spread to Egypt by 432 and to England by the end of the 6th century. Now we know where the nativity scene came from. In Scandinavia, the Norse celebrated Yule, December 21st, the winter solstice, through January. Now, December 21st varies a little bit depending on the year. It can be the 20th, 22nd. It's usually all right around the 21st. In recognition of the return of the sun, fathers and sons would bring home large logs, which they would set on fire. Y'all remember me discussing the Yule logs? The Norse believed that each spark from the fire represented a new pig or calf that would be born during the coming year. Have you ever wondered why Santa's sleigh has 8 reindeer? I know I never did, but never really questioned, oh, well, why is it 8 instead of 9? I guess, well, we can thank Odin for that, and his horse Slafnir. I will definitely be typing that because I probably pronounced that 10 ways from Sunday wrong. Ever wonder, and my shit got all fucked up there. Whoopsie. After the American Revolution, English customs fell out of favor, including Christmas. In fact, Christmas wasn't declared a federal holiday until June 26, 1870. So the celebration had been going on for years, like hundreds of years, but it was never declared a federal holiday until 1870. That just was mind-boggling to me. The first eggnog made in the United States was consumed by Captain John Smith in 1607 at the Jamestown settlement. Now, if you have any idea how to make eggnog now, can you imagine how nasty that eggnog would have been he made? Did you know sending Christmas cards began in England in the 19th century, and hundreds of years later, we still participate in it? I know I sure do. Since the early 20th century, Christmas has also been a secular family holiday observed by Christians and non-Christians alike. Devoid of Christian element and marked by increasingly elaborate exchanging of gifts, which till this day has turned into more of having to buy gifts than enjoying your family. I'm a firm believer you shouldn't have to buy gifts for people you don't wish to. I think the whole spending a shit ton of money is just a gimmick for stores and money-making people. I mean, if you want to give gifts, that's great, but homemade gifts or small business gifts is just as meaningful as a $1,000 gift, or at least in my opinion. Armenia, the first country, and my cats are falling off the shelf behind me. That's probably the noise that's going to show up in my video. Anywho, Armenia, the first country to adopt Christianity as its official religion, the church uses its own calendar. The Armenian Apostolic Church honors January 6th as Christmas. Found that quite interesting. In Ethiopia, where Christianity has had a home ever since the 4th century, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church celebrates Christmas on January 7th. Most of the churches of the Syriac Orthodox, not even trying that word, I'll type it up, and all the East celebrate Christmas on the December 25th at the Church of the Nativity in Bethlehem. However, the Syriac Orthodox celebrate Christmas on January 6th with the Armenian Church. Congregations of the Coptic, fuck if I know how to pronounce these words, Coptic Orthodox Church of Alexandria follows the date of December 25th on the Julian calendar, which corresponds to Chi 29 on the ancient Coptic calendar. Christmas has taken customs from New Year's. I didn't know this, but apparently it used to be a thing to give gifts on New Year's and not Christmas. It was believed you're giving somebody a good wish, goodwill for the coming year, and to help any sadness that person may be feeling for the year ending. It wasn't until the Victorian era of the 1800s that gift giving shifted to Christmas. According to the Rural Collection, Queen Victoria's children got Christmas Eve gifts in 1850, including a sword and armor. In 1841, Victoria gave her husband, Prince Albert, a miniature portrait of her as a 7-year-old. Who the heck would want a miniature portrait of their wife as a 7-year-old? Anywho, in 1859, she gave him a book of poetry by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Yeah, a little bit of useless information there, but hey, why not? But there you have it, folks. A little bit of rundown of where Christmas actually came from. And it has nothing to do with Jesus. Shocker. But honestly, it's about family. No matter what you believe, get together with your family, hug them, let them know you're there, enjoy them. So whether you celebrate Yule, Christmas, Santarilla, or any of the other 29 holidays, from me and mine to you, I do wish you and all a happy holiday, whatever you celebrate. Now, one of my favorite things about this season is a drink called wassail, I think is how it's pronounced. Tomorrow I will be doing a video of how I make mine, so stay tuned and you will see a really delicious drink. Till next time, thanks again for being here.